Hockey is brought to you by Mercury Insurance. You could win playoff tickets to every 2015 home playoff game at mercuryinsurance.com/Kings. And by Staples. Make more happen.
Inside Amalie Arena, we're here in Tampa, Florida, and the Kings and the Lightning getting ready to get started. We just talked about it in the open. The Lightning are the highest scoring team in the National Hockey League, but Ben Bishop is their tender. All 6'8" of him. So, of course, he's going to cover a lot of room, but he's matured over the last couple of years, really honing his skill and style to get the job done. Jonathan Quick is the guy for the Kings right now. And you get the feeling with the entire Kings team, Bob, the lines aren't really changing. The goaltender's not changing. Daryl Sutter's making a stand right now. He's going with his guys that got him there. He's going to stick with it. The Kings have to turn things around. The officials for today's game. That man is Dave Jackson. He'd be joined by Greg Kimmerly. They're the referees on the lines. Tony Sericolo and Ryan Galloway. So, I guess the contrast would be big and strong for the Kings, fast and skilled for the Lightning. And right now, with play-by-play, Hall of Famer Bob Miller.
All right, Jim, thank you very much. Ready to go here in Tampa, Florida. Kopitar out to take the draw, and the Kings win the draw, and they have it back in their own zone. So the Kings, and Jim, you mentioned the Lightning really fast, and here at home, 10 consecutive wins they've had here on home ice. Kings with it, back in their own zone. Pass up the middle now. The Kings get it to the blue line. Not out yet. Now Muzzin does get it into the neutral zone. It comes right back into Doughty in the Kings zone.
The start for the Kings, Bob. You have Clifford on one side, Nolan on the other, and you have Kopitar in the middle. That will not stay that way all game long. I mentioned the Kings not really changing things up, so that's just something maybe early on. Try to throw the other team off just a little bit.
Well, a good hard hit right there by Clifford as he came into the Tampa zone. Maybe that's the message they want to send right off the bat. You're going to be in for a long day.
Yeah, exactly. And the Kings, if they're going to have an advantage here, it probably will be in that physical nature, in the size nature. But again, very difficult to hit some things that you can't catch in the Lightning very fast.
Kings take it away at center ice, and it's thrown right back in by Jarrett Stoll back behind the net. Kings come in to try and poke it free. Lewis was there, and the Tampa Bay Lightning pick it up. They get it off on the right wing side and across the line now. Kucherov down into the corner, taken away by the Kings. They get it over toward Williams. Williams trying to get his stick out of there, and he does. Williams' pass comes right toward Quick, and he thought about tipping it over to the left and then thought, maybe I better cover this up.
Yeah, just slow it down. Hyundai Keys right now, Bob. Take a look, of course, because of what's been happening recently for the Kings. Turnovers. They have to go away. You can't just have possession and turn it over. That's been killing the Kings. Line-to-line pace. The Lightning keep coming. The pace doesn't drop off no matter which line's on the ice. And then the penalty kill, the power play. Not many of late where each team hasn't really had anything. John Cooper looking on. He's the head coach of the Tampa Bay Lightning. But it's an interesting battle. You're going to get few probably power play opportunities or penalty kills. You got to make them work.
Steven Stamkos' line comes on the ice for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Here's the White King throwing it down in deep. Ben Bishop, the goaltender, puts it high on the glass, and the Kings hold it in. They got a good chance now right in front. A shot and score! The Kings took it and brought it right in front. It was Tyler Toffoli, and the Kings have a 1-0 lead.
A lot of people have been talking before this game, Bob, about that first goal importance. And I was just talking about turnovers, where it's been hurting the Kings. Well, the Kings get on the Lightning right here. Ben Bishop goes along the boards, and you'll see it right there. It doesn't stay on the boards. It goes to the middle. Then you have a little misdirection in front, off the post, in behind. Toffoli keeps it simple on his move, but it's very quick and very skilled to execute that move. We've seen that same move from Jeff Carter quite a bit. Both guys right-handed shots, both go with one swoop across, then chip it over on the backhand. But the turnover hurts the Tampa Bay Lightning right there along the boards, off the skates to the middle. Kings lead 1-0.
14th goal of the year for Toffoli. Witkowski, their defenseman, stumbled there, and that opened the door on the right side for Toffoli to cut in front of the net. So the Kings get the first goal of the game. Back to center ice come the Tampa Bay Lightning. Puck is thrown down in behind the net, broken up by Quick to Doughty. Now to Brown. Brown got it to the blue line, but not out. Comes into Brown again. He sends it behind the net, and it's taken by Drew Doughty. Puck comes up the right side. The Kings score a goal a minute 33 into the game to take a 1-0 lead. Here is Kopitar, left side, fights his way through, passes off to the right side, and Williams trying to get there, but he can't, and the puck comes up out of play.
When they're looking for a penalty, the automatic, it's not going to happen. Deflection, that's what the referee says. So the puck goes along the boards. You got to stop here, guys. The Tampa Bay Lightning player, when it hits him, it goes to the middle. Bob, you mentioned the stumble of Witkowski, the defenseman. Well, he'll pick it up right here. You'll see a little contact. Is it enough for a pick or an interference? You got to stop here. Right here. King just kind of gets skates on skates with the defenseman. That allows the time for Toffoli to get it. He has quick move to the back end. Kings lead 1-0.
Unassisted goal for Tyler Toffoli, and the Kings with a 1-0 lead, but the Tampa Bay Lightning pick it up and bring it back to center ice. It's driven down deep into the King zone. Chased down in there, and a check by Muzzin, but the Lightning still have it on the right wing side. Picked up there and getting knocked down, and play continues. Fans thought maybe they were going to get a penalty. A shot is going wide, but gloved by Quick. He hangs on to it. Paquette with a shot, and there's Tyler Toffoli, who put the Kings ahead 1-0, and it had been a long time on the road that the Kings got the first goal of the game.
And Bob, you know, the important thing to me here is team-wise, yes, first goal, first period, those types of things, but Tyler Toffoli was on the ice for the game-winning goal against in the last game, and he was the guy that turned the puck over, didn't get back to help out, so then all of a sudden, next game, put it in the background, forget about it, come out. He takes a loose puck right here, but makes the best of it. Quick move to the back end.
Stamkos on the ice again for Tampa Bay, but he can't win the faceoff. Kings hold it in, but Stamkos takes it away at the blue line. Now back to take it away for the Kings is Kopitar. Kopitar up to center ice. He's got Gaborik and Brown on that line now. Puck taken by Callahan. He ran right into Stamkos, but the puck comes back to Stamkos. He drives down into the corner. Steven Stamkos, 5th in the league in goals, and it comes out to center ice and played by Witkowski for the Tampa Bay Lightning.
You think, Bob, with Stamkos, the marked man that he is, but he should only have to worry about the other team, not his own guys.
Puck taken by the Kings at their own blue line as Martinez tried to get it ahead to Foley, and he got knocked down there and gets back up again. Kings with it as King drives for it. Now a check there by the Kings, and the puck cleared back out to center ice.
Well, you were talking about earlier, Bob, you see it now. The Kings trying to just lay the body on as much as possible. With that strength, with the size advantage, try to take control and keep control of the game.
Puck comes into the neutral zone, picked up there for a moment by the Tampa Bay Lightning by Brian Boyle, former King #1 pick, but he can't hang on to it. Puck taken now and in the King zone, stick handled there and back up to center ice. Kings with it. Here's Drew Doughty. Doughty across the line. Doughty still with it. Doughty's pass. Tried to get it over to Clifford. Clifford goes into the corner, sends it back out to center. The Kings changing on the fly, and now it's driven right back in to the Tampa Bay zone, but knocked down there, and they get it up ahead to center ice. Taken by Palat. Andre Palat tried to throw it in front, tipped away, but the Kings have done a good job regaining control of the puck. Down the right side, here's Nolan. Nolan gets around a check. He shoots, and it's wide to the left. Rebound out to Regehr. Regehr holds it in. Puck still along the boards. Now comes free, going to be taken by Andre Palat. Palat for the Lightning gets it up to center ice. Kings break it up again, but now a pass taken away, and Tampa Bay back into the Kings zone. Right side, shot from there, and a stop by Quick on the shot by Nestorov. Nikita Nestorov for the shot. Kings lead at 1-0 here in the first period.
Yeah, again, Stamkos neutral zone trying to pick up a loose puck. He's going one way, Callahan going the other. He just at the last second, you see him spin just out of the way right here, so it's not a solid shoulder to shoulder. Actually, not much contact at all, because at the last second, Stamkos sees it. The one thing that's standing out to me so far in this game, Bob, the Kings' back pressure by the forwards, really good. They know they have to get back and help out the defenseman. With that transition speed of the Lightning, get back as quick as possible. 5-man unit, pressure from behind.
Valtteri Filppula out to take the faceoff for the Lightning here, but they blow the whistle right away, and now Stamkos is going to come in to take the draw. Kopitar for the Kings. First period, Kings ahead 1-0, and Lightning win the draw. Shot by Stralman and a save Rebound back along the right wing boards. Picked up there and into the slot. Stamkos sends it left side. Shot from there is tipped down into the corner. Picked up again now by Nesterov. Then a shot knocked down in front and tipped up over the net. Callahan was right in front. Now right side. Stamkos knocked down to his knees before he could get a shot. But he gets the pass is intercepted by Callahan. He threw it back along the right wing boards. Kings trying to get possession of it to clear it out. Pressure here by the Lightning. Stamkos again with Callahan. Stamkos held up there along the boards. And now the Kings still can't chip it out. Gaborik trying to get his stick on it. And down to the ice goes Stamkos again. A backhander by Stralman is wide. Rebound held in by the Tampa Bay Lightning. They got some pressure on now. Pass over on the right side, intercepted by Brown, and Brown gets it out to center ice.
But when Stamkos went down that last time, he stepped on the puck. That's the reason he went down.
Here is Callahan on the right wing. He shoots, and it's wide. Rebound off the boards, picked up on the left side by Paquette. Back to the blue line. Right side, Witkowski waits. Passes down in deep into the corner. Now pass back to the blue line. Taken there, and a shot wide to the left side by Victor Hedman. Comes back to the left point. And deep in the King zone now, picked up there by Martinez.
There's an example.
He
Big hit
got
right
hammered.
there. Yeah, Paquette just, that's a hard hit, but we'll see. Martinez went flying. The fans react. No penalties called by either referee, so you keep going here.
Now Martinez up on his own skates and under his own power goes to the bench. Well, the Kings have thrown a couple of good hits early. Clifford, one of them, and now they come back with Cedric Paquette throwing that hard check at Martinez.
Paquette, Bob, is known for that exactly. They talk about his heart. They talk about how hard he works. They talk about not backing down from anyone. He's new to the National Hockey League, but he's made an imprint on his teammates, and right there trying to do it against the Kings, and he certainly did it. Real hard hit on the forecheck.
Puck taken by the Kings of their own blue line. A pass ahead now by Muzzin. Tampa Bay clears it back out to center ice. Kings get it back again over to Williams. Williams backhands it in, then he gets knocked down. So all of a sudden now the Tampa Bay Lightning going to respond with the body checks that the Kings were throwing early in the game.
They're the best puck possession team in the National Hockey League. One of the best right at the top when you talk about those Corsi numbers and all that. So with the skill, with the offense, well, big reason they have the puck all the time.
Now it's sent down in behind the net to Brian Boyle. Boyle got checked there. Kings trying to get control of the puck. It comes along the right side and is cleared out to center ice and all the way back into the zone. No icing there, and Ben Bishop plays it behind the net.
No icing because Schuster, the defenseman, pinched down on the boards in the Kings zone. So he went for the man and not the puck. You wave off the icing.
Back up to center ice. Lightning with it. Kings ahead 1-0. Down into the corner. Chased down there by Palat. Andre Palat. His pass back on the right side, trying to get it to Tyler Johnson. Tyler Johnson, one of the top players on this team, but he can't get a shot. And then back at the blue line, it's tipped away and back into the Tampa Bay zone. Kings have it. Here is Jordan Nolan. Nolan throws it in front, and it's tipped away and taken by Tampa Bay. Back up to center. Tyler Johnson out of Spokane, Washington. Johnson stops, gets it again, shoots it on target, and a save made by Quick.
Well, the forecheck was working. It worked for the Kings on a turnover, but Cedric Paquette, watch this, shoulder on shoulder. He drives right through Martinez. Martinez was down. He gets up. Toffoli raises his hands. Kings lead 1-0.
Rick Bowness being celebrated here for his 2000th game, coaching, head coach, assistant coach, and getting a great round of applause from the fans here at Amalie Arena.
Yeah, certainly Rick Bowness, Bob. He's been a head coach in the league for the Winnipeg Jets, the Boston Bruins, the Ottawa Senators, New York Islanders, the Phoenix, now Arizona Coyotes. 27th season in the NHL as a coach. Of course, a former player, so he knows the game. Head coach, now an assistant coach working with a D. So I've been around Rick quite a bit over the years and love to talk to him. He's one of those guys that shares his ideas. He shares what's going on. Very good communicator. So congratulations, 2,000 games.
Face off in the Kings zone when play continues here with the Kings ahead 1-0. And Stamkos on the draw, but the Kings send it right toward Quick, and he covers this up, and we'll have another face-off.
So the Kings had the start they wanted. John Cooper, of course, is the head coach of the Tampa Bay Lightning. And, of course, there's Stevie Yzerman as the general manager. There's a lot of talk about the similarities of the Detroit Red Wings and how they approached their game when Steve Yzerman was a player, and how John Cooper says they almost mirror each other. And they're trying to do the same thing, and puck possession is a big part of that. And so both teams have also gone through kind of a transition from veteran guys to younger guys. That's where you are right now, and it's working certainly for the Lightning, and it's working still for the Red Wings.
Stamkos on the draw. He's got 28 goals, tied for third in the NHL. He wins the draw. Puck is picked up on the right side, and the shot is wide to the left on that shot by Filppula. Used to be with the Red Wings. Puck is still in the Kings zone, and a penalty coming up here. Penalty against the Kings. Let's see, the goaltender Bishop heading to the bench. Tripping is going to be the call.
It's called against Jeff Carter. So Stamkos, a couple of times already in this period, he's beat the Kings from the outside to the inside. And that time Jeff Carter said, okay, I've got Stamkos. He's got a half step on me right here. Puck's in the middle between his skates. He can't let it happen. You saw Regeer was there to close it down and shut it down. But at least, we've talked about penalties this year, at least this one is defending, defensive zone. You see the stick, gets in between the legs, and actually Stamkos kind of gets by the stick and dives for the puck. So he's diving for the puck, not to draw a penalty. So early power play, the Kings have the lead, and again, a key. Again, we have not seen a lot of power plays either way lately. It's getting down to that point of the season, but the keys are you got to be strong in these situations.
Tampa Bay Lightning 16th in the league on the power play at 18%. The King penalty killing is 10th in the league at 19.8. Stamkos now moves out to the right point on the power play. He leads them in power play goals with 8. Stamkos with it, right side, moves down, shoots, and it's wide to the left and all the way back off the boards into the Tampa Bay zone.
You win the face-off, you have the best scorer basically in the NHL. Take the shot. That's what he does. Pretty good traffic in front, but Stamkos misses that time. Tried for the low one, so maybe looking for a deflection.
Kings with a 1-0 lead here in the first period. Bob Miller along with Jim Fox, and the Kings break it up and send it back in the Tampa Bay zone again. 10:55 left to go in the first. Lightning back up to center. Here's Stamkos. Gives it over to Victor Hedman. Now thrown down and deep by Filppula. Back behind the net, cut off by the Kings. Doughty drives it hard and back into the Tampa Bay zone.
So far, this is all about up-ice pressure and the angles the Kings forwards are taking, and the Lightning are ending up putting the puck in a position where they don't have any speed going to the puck, and the Kings are getting there first.
Strawman sends it up to center ice. Pass on the right side. Tyler Johnson going for it. Then a shot and a save by Quick. Puck is back behind the net, tipped in toward the corner. Kings take it away, and it is brought up to the blue line and banked off the boards to center ice, and then driven down in deep by King. Toffoli was headed to center, but Kings thought better of trying an attack at that point and get back and play defensively, killing the penalty. Puck comes over to Doughty. Doughty now picked up by the Kings again. They've done a good job killing this penalty so far. Here is Kopitar into the zone, down the right side. He gets knocked down along the boards. And the puck is picked up now by the Tampa Bay Lightning with 20 seconds left to go in the King penalty.
Everything has to work when you're killing a penalty, especially against a team like the Lightning and all the firepower. But again, I just love the way the approach of the Kings forwards here. Real good, real smart up the ice.
Here's Stamkos, poke checked away. Nice play there as his poke check back out to center ice. And making that poke check there was Toffoli.
Because the Kings are slowing down Stamkos up the ice, he doesn't have the speed on entry.
They come into the zone, a bad pass taken away by the Kings. They're back at full strength, but then Carter lost it, and a shot wide by Callahan. Tampa Bay had one shot on that power play. Puck is in the corner of the King zone, played by Matt Green. Green looks for help, gives it to Carter, now over to Muzzin. He got it to the blue line, and then it came out to center ice, picked up by the Kings. Carter down the right side with King. Carter shoots, save. King shoots it wide to the left.
Jeff Carter coming out of nowhere. That speed from behind, very dangerous.
Kings had a 2-on-1 there, and the rebound to King, and he just shot it wide to the left. He had an open side. Puck comes deep into the King zone now. Picked up down in there as Regeer gets to it. Then Carter sends it into the left wing corner of the King zone. Broken up by the Lightning. They get it back behind the net. Picked up there by Jude Drouin. Drouin's pass out to center ice. And the Lightning have to chase it down. Victor Hedman back to get it. Now pass into the King zone. Broken up by the Kings again. Muzzin. Here's Muzzin up ahead to Clifford. Clifford over the right side to Nolan. Nolan in the zone. Nolan back to Clifford. He fanned on his first shot. Then he gets a shot wide to the left. Rebound behind the net. Kings battle for it. Nick Shore in there, and Shore dug it out, and he gives it to Nolan. Nolan had a poke checked away, but he comes against the left wing boards. Pass to the point. Taken there by the Kings now. Right side. Doughty with a shot wide and covered off of the boards by Bishop.
Pushing and shoving Witkowski and Clifford. But that last shift, Bob, the Kings, one touching the puck. That's playing fast. Good job by the Kings.
Welcome back to Tampa, everybody. I'm Patrick O'Neill with a timeless moment brought to you by Coors Banquet. I tell you what, 19-year-old rookie Jonathan Drouin is so fast. How fast is he, you ask? He's so fast he actually is almost timeless. He had the fastest winning time at the skills competition in Columbus, beat Ottawa's Mike Hoffman. Jim Fox, you were known for your speed when you played. Tell me, who was faster, you or Drouin? Nothing? Got nothing from you?
Patty, I've got it. I'd have to do it in the corners.
You did have to go to the corners, not this kid.
No, because, straight ahead, stride, length, I didn't have that. But quickness in the corners and the way you cross over, those types of things, that's the way it would have happened.
Puck comes up to center ice, and the Kings back in their own zone and cleared out to center and then sent back across the King blue line where Muzzin has it. Kings have a 1-0 lead on an unassisted goal by Tyler Toffoli, a minute 33 after the opening faceoff in this game. Here is Muzzin to center. He sends it down the left side, in deep pass in front, tip, score! Beautiful pass in front, and right there was Williams to tip it in, and the Kings have a 2-0 lead.
The simplicity of the entry ends up with the drive on the far side, and John Cooper looks on, and his team is a little bit dumbfounded right now because the Kings have the 2-0 lead, but it comes with just, up the ice. Keep it kind of simple right here. Do you go into the middle, or do you keep it off the boards? Tip it off the boards, keep it going north-south, and then backhand pass. I mean, that backhand pass by Trevor Lewis, again, he's on his off wing. He played there in practice yesterday. Stoll is taken by the defenseman because that's the normal situation. Center lane drive. So everything right there is kind of fundamentally sound by the Kings. North-south, keep it simple, make it happen, and then you get that great pass, the great putback. Kings lead 2-0.
Williams gets his 14th of the year and his 99th goal as a member of the Kings. Puck is taken now by the Kings and moved up to center. Gabrick threw it off on the right side. Kings again cutting to the net is Gabrick. They can't get it to him. It comes back to Regehr. At the blue line, right side, Doughty, he shoots, and a blocked in front of the loose puck is picked up by Callahan. Up to center ice, Kings back to take it away again. So Williams from Lewis, and it's 2-0 in favor of the Kings here in the first period.
And obviously the coverage breaks down right there for the Tampa Bay Lightning, but again, the Kings just keep it going and smart, simple plays to get into the zone, then you can make things happen.
Tyler Johnson with a shot that was knocked up high, and the Kings back to get it. Gabrick moves it to the blue line. Kings don't bring it out. Toffoli looking for someone to pass to, and he did off on the right side. Now it's cleared to center. Chased down by Carter and Toffoli, but the Kings were offside. Puck taken now by Tampa Bay, and back across the line is Tyler Johnson. He got checked there. Puck is taken by Muzzin. Muzzin behind the net. Fires it off the left wing boards, and it caroms right toward the goaltender Bishop. He has to stop it there. Williams is 14th from Lewis and Muzzin at 12:30 of the first period.
We've seen it a couple times recently, Bob, against the Kings and that time for the Kings. If you make the backhand pass, you save time. You don't turn your body around. Icing here against the Lightning. And that's what Trevor Lewis did right there on that play, where he's the man right in front of, and you talk about head man the puck. Look at this. Now this play's going to be simple. You see him bang it, he wants it. Now he wants to just chip it right here, ends up off his stick. But you saw him peek, and right there, it's a hard thing to execute. But you can see the breakdown on the far side. The Lightning did not have, and you have to have that putback. Justin Williams just gets it going, doesn't stop it, does not want to stop it, wants the quickness to work. The Kings have a 2-0 lead.
Muzzin with that assist. It's his 25th point. That's a career high. And the Kings with a 2-0 lead. Puck taken by the Kings in the Tampa Bay zone. Wrap around, and it comes out off the goaltender, and the Lightning clear it out to center. Poke checked away there, and now cutting in on the right side. A shot by Boyle is wide to the left. Along the boards, dug out there by the Tampa Bay Lightning by Brett Connolly. Now Boyle, he puts it down in deep, taken by Morrow, Brendan Morrow. He's a veteran in this league, as you know. A shot is knocked down and gloved by the King goaltender as Quick found it.
Bobby looked behind himself right there to talk to the referee. He felt maybe, and he's still talking right now. Kings 2-0. Jonathan Quick wants that crease to himself. Time now for tonight's Mercedes-Benz Star Watch, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz dealers of Southern California. Dustin Brown, you see the points and the hits, the points he wants more of lately again, as we documented Bob in the Open, where really good and smart puck possession lately from Dustin Brown. Tyler Johnson, one of the best stories in the NHL. Undrafted in junior, he was a defensive centerman. They've said maybe projection third, fourth line center in the NHL. He's way, way more than that. Very smart. Details, that's what he worries about. Working here for the Lightning.
Filppula on the draw and a save by Quick as the Lightning won the draw. And the shot by Stamkos. This is his 25th birthday today for Steven Stamkos.
That's right. And it seems like every time, Bob, the Lightning have an offensive zone draw, they're getting Stamkos out there with Callahan and Filppula taking the draw right now. So you're just trying to take those situational advantages when you have at home. You have that advantage with the last change.
Yeah, if I'm the coach, he'd never get off the ice. Just stay out there. Kings poke it up to center ice and come into the Tampa Bay zone. Williams shoots and a save made by Bishop. Williams tried to get it again. He did, but it's taken away by Callahan. Now here is Stamkos. Stamkos just across the line. He drops it off there. The puck driven down in deep behind the net. Broken up by Doughty. Now Doughty pokes it over toward Williams. Now it comes right toward the front of the net. Kings get possession of it for a moment, but then a hard check there on the right side knocks Lewis down. That check on the right side by Witkowski.
Witkowski gets the body there, but Lewis does the job, protects the puck.
Kings with it again, into the zone. Shot, glove stop by the goaltender Bishop on a high shot by Lewis.
I mentioned Bishop earlier, Bob, 6'8". I was off. It's a game of inches. He's 6'7". Brian Boyle, 6'7". Schuster, Andre Schuster, he's 6'8". So they got some size on their team, but overall up front, they're considered kind of a smaller team, and maybe that's a concern for them as they look forward to the playoffs. They're certainly going there.
Kings pass up the middle, taken away, and now the Kings get it back again. Gabrick threw it into the middle, then the Tampa Bay Lightning had it. They've got it again. A shot and a glove save by Quick on the shot by Alex Killorn.
You know, Quick sees that one all the way, and Killorn's kind of leaning away when he takes the shot. Stamkos is now an old man. This morning, there's Brian Boyle. He's old enough to shave right now, so maybe he just wants a little shaving cream to get it going. But of course, he's done a great job in his career. He comes here and turns it on. Only 8 players have scored more goals under the age of 25 than Steven Stamkos, and some real good names on that list, including his current general manager, that's Steve Yzerman. So getting the job done, filling the net.
Well, the Kings bring it back up to center ice now. Headed for the net is Dwight King, and he just couldn't get his stick on it to tip it in.
Execution right off the defensive zone faceoff. Set play by the Kings there.
Since the start of 2009-10 season, Stamkos has the most goals in the NHL. 238. Ovechkin is second with 235. So he's had a tremendous career, as we know, and now the Kings try to move it in front of Dwight King. And now behind the net, King goes for it again. Puck comes into the corner. Toffoli reaches out to get a stick on it, but it's taken away now by Tampa Bay. Back up to center ice, into the King zone. Pass on the right side. Shot is off the post and wide. Shot from the right side by Kucherov, and it comes back into the Tampa Bay zone, icing against the Kings.
Well, reminder, Bob, you can spend Valentine's Day with the Los Angeles Kings. Bid on a package including 2 tickets to the game, 2 red jerseys, chocolates, flowers, through the Kings Care Foundation's mobile auction. To bid, text KINGS to 52182. You can visit the LA Kings app or lakings.com/auctions.
Face off in the Kings zone now, with the Kings ahead 2-0 here in the first period. 3:13 to go in the period. Puck is picked up by Filppula. His pass off on the right side. He had the right idea, but it's taken away by the Kings and moved up ahead by Dwight King.
Schuster looking back door right there. Not for the stick position of Robin Regehr. That's a real good chance.
Lightning get it back out to center ice. Filppula with it there. Taken away by Muzzin. Throws it off on the right side to Williams. Williams threw it toward the net, and Bishop covers this one up, and he hangs on.
That last little pass there from Muzzin to Williams, that's an example of how the Kings have approached this game. Muzzin gets the puck, he turns and he fires it right away. Right away, no hesitation, playing very fast. That's important against a fast skating team. The Lightning try to get it going. Schuster's going back door here, and there just at the last second, Regehr gets a stick on that. So he had to watch the man in front. He also had to watch the lane and protect the lane. He does both at the same time, but you like the way the Kings are approaching this. Keep it simple, keep it going north-south. When you have it, move it quick. Muzzin, that last one, right across to Williams.
And on the draw here in the Tampa Bay zone, Boyle on the draw, but the Kings have it back at the right point. A shot deflected against the boards, and the Tampa Bay Lightning dig it out, get it to the blue line, but the Kings hold it in again. Now it's picked up by Brendan Morrow. Morrow, number 1 pick of Dallas in '97, is driven deep into the Kings zone, picked up there by Muzzin. Muzzin gets stopped in the corner. Boyle with it. Now taken by Morrow. Brendan Morrow again. He put it down in deep. Still a battle along the boards as the Kings try to get possession of it, and they do. It is cleared out across the blue line. Lightning take it away again with 2:05 left to go here in the first period.
I think we should mention, Bob, that Alec Martinez, I don't think he's been back since the hit by Paquette. And I'm looking on the bench right now. I don't see Alec there, and that would be understandable how hard that contact was. He went down, he was slow, he made his way to the bench, but not there now.
Oh, the Kings almost lose it in, or they did lose it in the pass right in front of an empty net. Didn't connect for the Lightning. Here into the zone is Clifford down the left side into the corner. Taken away by Tampa Bay. Back up to center ice. Shoveled ahead and down in deep now by Drouin, and he tried to get to it. As we showed you, he was the fastest skater at the skills competition. To the blue line, a shot wide. Rebound off the boards in the Kings zone. Taken there by Schuster. He got it back to Drouin, and his pass taken away by the Kings, and back up to center and down the right side. Chasing it down in deep is Nolan. Nolan, left wing side, hangs onto it, and then lost it, and the puck cleared up to center by Tampa Bay. Now the Kings back to get it right in front of their own bench. Loose puck is picked up by Kopitar. Now throws it off on the right side with 1 minute to go in the first period. Kings into the Tampa Bay zone. Here on the right side is Brown. Brown put it down the corner. Kings still have it. Back to Muzzin at the blue line. He shoots. Blocked in front. Picked up down by the Kings again. Taken by Kopitar to Muzzin. He shoots, and a save by Bishop. Puck is still free. Back behind the net. Brown goes for it. Brown battling there. Gets it over to Kopitar. Back out to the point. Now here's Muzzin. Muzzin shoots wide. Rebound with 31 seconds to go in the period. Kopitar over to try and get a stick on it. Now coming in was Brown to get body position and hold it in. Puck taken by Gabrick. Gabrick to Kopitar in the corner. Back now to Brown. Now Gabrick. Gabrick to Brown. 15 seconds to go in the period.
Great shift here. Great shift at the end of a period.
Now the Lightning try to dig it out, but it's knocked away by Kopitar. Then Brown gives it to Kopitar. Kopitar to Regehr. Regehr sends it left side to Doughty. Shoots. Score! And that led to the goal. The tough play by the Kings in the Tampa Bay zone, and it's 3-0. It came with 0.4 of a second to go.
What a shift. And after I mentioned it, I'm saying to myself, well, the only bad thing is they don't get anything to show out of it. Dustin Brown took over along with Kopitar and Gabrick. They had the forecheck going. They had the puck possession. They had body position. They're just waiting to confirm that there was still time on the clock. The clock here says 0.4, so that's it. Brown, look at that. He's going to create the screen right there. It's a moving screen, ends up being a double screen, maybe a little contact defenseman with his own goaltender. And that entire shift, you talk about a great period. I know it's 3-0. There's been a lot of great periods, but this one here, so many different elements. Simplicity by the Kings. North-south play. Back to that puck possession forecheck. The highest skilled line on the Kings was on the ice for that one. Gabrick, Kopitar, and Brown. They have the skill. They get it done. And they keep it alive long enough for Regehr to get it to Doughty. They're still checking this. There is always that discrepancy between the official time and what's going on, and they're checking right now.
Jim, in the open, we talked about contributing in other ways than scoring goals by Dustin Brown, and that was one right there.
And it's exactly, that forecheck, spinning, protecting, and then when the time is appropriate, Dustin Brown has to get to the front of the net, and he does so. And even if he didn't screen it, the trailing defenseman ended up being a screen and maybe even contact, as I mentioned. So just so many good things. 20 minutes of hockey.
And that is the end of the first period. The goal is by Doughty, his fifth. The assists go to Regehr and Kopitar at 19:59, the official time, but only 0.4 seconds left in that period. Shots were even at 9 apiece, but the Kings played a wonderful period here so far.
I don't know, Bob, if there's any elements, if you break it down, the X's and O's and styles and all that, where the Kings did not excel. Now, there was one shift in the period where the Tampa Bay Lightning took over. They drew a penalty, Carter against Stamkos, but really 20 minutes solid all the way through so many different elements. Kings lead 3-0.
Well, Justin Williams scored his 99th goal in a King uniform here today. He'll talk with Patrick O'Neill after this. All rights to this broadcast are reserved, and any rebroadcast, recording, retransmission, telecommunication to the public, or other unauthorized use of this broadcast without the express written permission of the Los Angeles Kings is prohibited. Test drive the all-new 2015 Subaru Outback or go to Subaru.com to learn more. And by Jack in the Box. Try the new Buttery Jack Burgers at Jack in the Box with melted garlic herb butter.
Well, the Kings with a 3-0 lead. They start the second period without Alec Martinez on the bench once again, so that's a big concern. And again, the hard hit, Paquette coming in. And again, you're looking for principal point of contact. This one here is real close. It looks like shoulder on shoulder initially. There's no question as Paquette goes through, maybe he makes contact with the jaw. Again, principal doesn't necessarily mean first contact point. It means, what's happening as far as where most of the force was exerted upon. Goaltending change for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Andrei Vasilevsky just recalled from the minors. He gets a call right here. 3 goals scored by the Kings in the first.
Last Sunday, he's only 20 years old, and he won their last game on the road down in Dallas. Puck comes down into the Kings zone, back behind the net. Kings with a 3-0 lead as we start the second period here in Tampa. Puck along the boards. Jim, this is going to be an excellent indication of how the Kings are going to handle this lead and see if they can shut it down. Back to the blue line, Tyler Johnson, right side shot from there is knocked into the corner. And a check thrown there as Muzzin gets a stick on it, tried to clear it, came off to the left point. Now the Kings go forward along the boards. Gets held in. Here's Tyler Johnson again. Johnson, right side shot from there is up high and over the net. Rebound thrown back toward the net, taken away by the Kings, and score! Muzzin had a stick on it, but they couldn't clear it, and it's taken there, and it's scored by Kucherov, and that's what Tampa Bay needed, a quick goal here at the start of the second period.
Yeah, the bouncing puck, everyone looking, the referee getting together with the linesman, they're trying to figure out something. The putback did look like an issue. But you'll see that at the end of the play right here, Muzzin tries to clear it. It's a bouncing puck, and he actually clears it to the front. And it's one of those where, because the puck is rolling, Muzzin couldn't get a good stick on it. And he's trying to keep it behind the net. He actually kind of shanks it right to the front with all the balancing. Now, at the end, that's the putback. But maybe the best shift of the game by the Tampa Bay Lightning. They controlled that entire shift. They had the forecheck working. They had the pressure on. So now they get a good positive sign here to start the second.
For Kucherov, there's a shot by the Kings by Carter, and it goes wide and off the boards back to center. Kucherov with his 19th goal and his second in the last 15 games. Came at 58 seconds into the second period. Kings in the first period scored a minute 33 into the period. But now Tampa Bay gets some new life. They bring it up to center. Pass on the left side here. Stamkos back on the right. A shot from there, and it's wide to the left. Puck comes back up to the blue line and held in and thrown down in by Schuster.
Top line on the ice for the Lightning, and the Kings allow a clear-cut 3-on-2. So the Kings, a few issues here to start the second. That's obvious right now. The Lightning, because of the change in goal, maybe refocused, but certainly they're on their game, and the Kings one half step behind.
They try to catch the Kings in a line change into the Kings zone. Picked up there by Killorn. Killorn drops it back. Schuster shoots, and a save by Quick, and he took a little whack at Quick, and Quick took exception to that.
Yeah, the shot was saved initially. Schuster was on such a bad angle that he never got anything going. Look at Jonathan Quick. He's saying, you want to get involved, I'm going to get involved too. He has a little face wash right there for Barberio. Doughty finally gets him. But Schuster, what happened was, shot went right into the logo in the chest of Jonathan Quick. And it didn't look like there was going to be any juggling on the puck. But then Schuster gets his stick in it. Watch this. Shot, save, glove, and he takes a whack. And that's what certainly upsets everyone. Now, we're going to get some penalties here. Schuster's making his way to the box. And then Brown gets in, so Schuster's in, Brown's in. It's going to be probably even Steven as far as the coincidental minors. What referees try to do, and especially in playoff situations, or at least they instruct the referees to do, is try to get the first guy and make him pay. Even if you have a little retribution after that, if there's not much, then you kind of make sure the first guy, because he's the instigator of the situation. So that time it was Schuster. The referees decide that Brown did too much when he came over. And they even it up right there with the coincidental minors. Slash, which was the obvious one against Schuster, the rough against Brown, and we figured out right here, 4-on-4 skating. And I've said it many times before, I think 4-on-4 favors the team that's trailing in the game just to change things up, more up on ice, those things. And the Lightning in that situation right now, but they like their game right now to start the second.
Just had a little visit between periods with Scotty Bowman out in the hallway, and he brought up the 3-on-3 that has been mentioned to go to at some point, and he said, I'd like to see it. So,
yeah. Drew Doughty was quoted the other day, Bob, they're talking about, of course, the NHL PA getting involved, and Matthew Schneider, who now works for the player safety department. They brought up my biggest concern there, and that is you're going to overtax your best players at the end of the game while they're already tired. So you might put a player in a situation where he's a superstar and there's a chance, or a bigger chance, for injury. Having said that, you have to balance that with the overall excitement and your goal. You want less games to go to the shootout, and certainly it looks like in the AHL, the 3-on-3 proves that.
the goal by Kucherov unassisted at 58 seconds of the second period. Now here's Filppula. Filppula into the Kings zone. His pass comes off the boards, held in, but the Kings take control now, back in their own zone. Filppula trying to throw a check there, but Doughty spins away from him, gets it up ahead to center, broken up there, and Stralman sends it back into the Kings zone and back to get it is Muzzin. Kings turn it back. They got a 3-on-2 working here. Puck comes down the left wing side, in deep, pass in front, and Doughty tried to tip it in, and it stopped there by Vasilevsky. Let's go down to Patrick O'Neill.
Okay, Bob, thanks very much. As you guys noted, that Alec Martinez did not return after suffering that hit from Paquette in the first. Official word now is he has an upper body injury, is doubtful to return to this game. Back to you.
Yeah, that collision, it was devastating. And Paquette, again, he's trying to earn his way to the NHL. He's known for that, and he did exactly what you want to do on a forecheck. You want to make that first-man contact, and the contact, you could tell it really jarred Alec Martinez.
Kings scored 3 goals in the first period tonight. The last time they did that was November 8th against Vancouver. And the time before that, October 14th against Edmonton. 3 in the first period. Shot from the top of the slot, and it is stopped by Quick.
So the Kings, they've got to make sure that the momentum and the shift-to-shift steamroll does not continue here for the Lightning. And that's their biggest goal right now in Daryl Sutter. So he makes his substitution. He had McBain on the ice, and this is where Drew Doughty picks up his extra ice time. Defensive zone face-off. Doughty comes out to replace McBain. He's now paired with Regehr, your best defenseman on the ice in crucial situations.
Alex Killorn on the draw, and he wins the face-off. Back to the blue line it goes. Hedman sends it off on the right side in the King zone. Pass back, and it comes off the stick, and it is held in, though, by Hedman. He gets it over on the right side to Killorn. Backhander saved by Quick. Rebound right in front and broken up by Carter. It was loose in the crease, and Carter got a stick on it to break it up.
Everyone got back to the crease. That's what you have to do. If you sense or smell danger, get back to help out.
Here's Victor Hedman. Hedman down the right side into the King zone. Checked by Regehr to Killorn. Tipped away and played by Doughty. So the Kings have to stem the momentum of the Tampa Bay Lightning right now. Here's Toffoli. He's got a goal tonight. He shoots, and a save by Vasilevsky. Puck is picked up and brought back out to center ice. Across the line, right side, down in deep, and sliding hard into the boards on a check by Doughty. Puck comes wide to the left side, held in, shot deflected wide, and both teams are back at full strength. Puck out to the right point. A drive that is deflected wide and taken by the Kings, and Brown gets it up to center ice, but it comes back into the King zone to Muzzin.
Polar opposite here. First period Kings, second period Lightning.
Now here's Brown into the Lightning zone. Brown gets a return pass. He shoots, and a save as Vasilevsky knocked it into the corner.
That's a huge save for a big goaltender coming across in control. Dustin Brown, last second, right to the front of the net.
Lightning back up to center and send it into the King zone and back to get it Regehr. He gets checked there. Puck comes to the Kings at the blue line, and Williams clears it out to center ice. Taken away now by the Lightning again, and Thrown down in deep by Jonathan Drouin. Kings Matt Green back to get it. Lightning into forecheck. Lewis got checked in the corner. Lewis gets his stick on it though and gives it to Regehr. Here's Regehr back behind the net. Moves it up ahead, and the Kings come back to center. Here's Stoll. Stoll down the left side. Stoll, Tampa zone, goes behind the net. Stoll still with it. Has it on his stick. Checked there in the corner by Hedman. Puck comes free. Taken back behind the net by Paquette. And cleared up to center ice. Drouin got stopped there, and back to get it for the Kings is Williams. We're in the second period. Kings lead at 3-1. Shot by McBain is deflected up and out of play.
They don't like the shot because it comes after an offside. It was a very close offside situation with Trevor Lewis trying to stay onside. But it was blown down. Then the shot developed after that. The Lightning a couple times just kind of putting it back. Get it to traffic. Let it happen. You see right here, in behind, in behind, in behind. There's the stick of Jeff Carter. Did not leave the scene of the crime. He's right there to help out. Watch Brown. Wants it. And takes that one quick step to the middle. Nice move there by Dustin Brown, who continues to show that he's going to get chances, can make it work. Of course, he's on the top line right now for the LA Kings, but you can see why. You're just making things happen, Bob, as you mentioned, in so many different ways. Driving to the net, holding on, passing, and of course, taking the body.
The Lightning start the night only 4 points behind Anaheim for first overall in the NHL. Puck taken away by Clifford in the Tampa Bay zone. Kyle Clifford driving behind the net. Still has it. Back to the blue line. Right point. Matt Green. Green shoots. It's wide. Rebound off the boards. Nick Shore trying to get to it. He didn't, but the Kings try to throw it in front. It was Muzzin throwing it in front, but it's batted away, and the Kings get control of it again at the blue line. Clifford was checked, and the puck came back to center ice and driven back in by Green. Now Clifford down the corner. He gets taken down the ice. Here's Nick Shore looking for his first NHL goal. Shore on the right side. He got checked there by Boyle. Puck comes back to the blue line. Kings hold it in again. Left side. Clifford shoots, and a save by Vasilevsky, and he hangs on to it. We get some pushing again. So we'll see what penalties we're going to get out of this.
Well, welcome back. A second period action, 3-1. Kings had the 3-0 lead after one. Boyle's in the box. Nolan's in the box. So the Kings had a little bit of a putback. Real good shift by the fourth line of the Kings. And we'll see right off to the side. There's Boyle. There's Nolan. Nolan takes a shot at one of the Lightning. On behind is Boyle to jump on his back. That was Brendan Morrow in there. So it was nice to see, though, the Kings' fourth line do the job there. And then the resting continues. I mentioned one of the keys, Bob, the line-to-line pace, meaning that, the Lightning are known for not dropping off the pace. That was a good shift by the fourth line. Spent a lot of time in the offensive zone. You need that through the course of 60 minutes.
Boyle and Nolan each get 2 minutes for roughing at 6:11 of the second period. Face-off in the Tampa Bay zone, and it's won by Filppula. Cleared around the right wing side, and now sent behind the net. Tampa Bay Lightning with it. Pass up ahead to Val Filppula. Comes to center. Drops it back at center ice, and it's brought across the line by Hedman. He got checked there, and the puck picked up by the Kings. Pass to the blue line and out to center ice. Taken away again by Filppula over to Hedman. Tampa Bay Lightning with it. Taken away by the Kings. Kopitar took it away from Hedman. Kopitar behind the net, and Hedman got back to check him. Then Hedman gets knocked into the corner.
Every inch being battled for now in the second. I mean, it's 4-on-4. You have more from ice, but solid hits too.
Brown with that check on Hedman. Then a shot by Hedman and a save by Quick. Rebound into the corner, now behind the net. Picked up by Tampa Bay. They're down by 2 goals, and the pass by Filppula comes out to center and back into the Tampa Bay zone. Tampa Bay Lightning at home. They have 21 wins on home ice. Across the line, here's Stamkos. Shoots, that's wide to the left. Now the puck picked up and held in the zone. Stamkos again tries to make a move. He got checked there. Drops it back. A shot. Saved by Quick on the shot by Anton Stralman.
Well, you can join the LA Kings in honoring Barry Melrose, Tony Granato, Luc Robitaille at 3 Legends Luncheons, hosted by Fleming's Prime Steakhouse and Wine Bar. That's at LA Live. The Luncheons, February 12th, 24th, and March 7th. So you visit lakings.com/legends to purchase tickets today. Of course, that would coincide with the Legends Night that take place later on those days and those dates I mentioned. So, of course, earlier this season, we saw in the pregame show Rob Blake's number going up to the rafters, number 4 at Staples Center.
Well, Legends Night will be when the Kings get back home to take on Calgary on Thursday of next week. Barry Melrose, first coach to take the Kings to the Stanley Cup Finals. He'll be honored. Puck comes over to Stamkos of Tampa Bay in the Kings zone. Tipped away on his pass, but he gets back at center ice to pick it up again. 12:09 to go in the second period. 3-1 Kings lead. Puck comes in deep and is taken by Doughty. Doughty gets it over. Now Muzzin gives it to Stoll. Stoll back over to Doughty. Doughty up to center ice. Deep into the Tampa Bay zone. Kings want to get a change on the fly, and Tampa Bay with it. They move it up the left wing side. Palat gets it up into center. Both teams are back at full strength. There's Boyle with a shot and just wide. Rebound taken behind the net. Kings have it. Pass up the left wing side, and the Kings break it out to center ice. Chased down by Gabrick. Gabrick's pass tipped away from Kopitar, and the Lightning with it across the line into the Kings zone. Drop back left side. Andre Palat checked along the boards. Puck is loose, and the Kings are going to get to it.
And that check, Bob, purposeful. Dustin Brown taking the body and accomplishing something right there. Knocked the man off the puck.
Lightning trying to get it. Kings lead the NHL in hits, 1,690 coming into the game tonight. Here is Doughty moving it up ahead to center ice to Brown. Brown's pass broken up, and the Lightning get to it again. Pass ahead, intercepted by the Kings and driven deep into the Tampa Bay zone. The pass by Killorn was intercepted. Now up ahead to center ice again. Green throws a check there on Killorn and an icing call against Tampa Bay.
Just kind of figuring out what Dustin Brown's going to do out there to make sure he's in position. And there it is right there along the boards. Palat gets in there, and because of the smart play, and see right there with Dustin Brown, a little push, a little shove. He's not going for the big hit there, but he ends up getting good inside body position. So if Palat could spin out of that one, maybe he takes it to the middle. Dustin Brown did not allow that. He gets to the middle first.
Kings with 18 hits in the game. Tampa Bay with 14. Face-off in the Tampa Bay zone. Stoll on the draw for the Kings. Wins the face-off. Kings have it. Williams shoots. He's got a goal tonight. His shot deflected by the goaltender Vasilevsky and up to center ice. Chased down the right wing side now, and a backhander and a save and a rebound right there, and shot wide by Boyle. Rebound came right up the middle, and Boyle with a great opportunity shot it wide. Kings pick up a loose puck at center ice and drive it deep into the zone as Clifford threw it behind the net. Now Clifford comes around to throw a check. Kings hold it in. Pass in front, right in front. A shot wide there by Carter. Carter with it again. Carter into the corner. Still battling there. Puck is still fought for, and Carter throws a check. Carter's 4 points away from 500 in his career. And the puck back all the way into the Kings zone where Reguer goes back to get it. Now a check on McBain. He got hit there by Brett Connolly. Puck comes to the blue line of Tampa Bay. They take it away there, but the Kings get it right back. Kings back in their own zone. Jamie McBain. Ahead now to Carter. Carter's pass off the boards deep into the Tampa Bay zone. Lightning back to get it with 9.5 to go in the second period. Up to center ice. Lightning with it. Throw it off on the right side. Taken by Stralman across the line. He eluded a check there. Puck comes back behind the net. Kings moving around the corner, but now taken away by Tampa Bay. Back to the blue line. Anton Stralman. Stralman sends it down in deep, and looked like a hold there, but play continues. Stamkos on the ice. The Kings take it away. Can they clear it out? No. Left point. Puck is held in for a moment, but now it skids back out to center. Brendan Morrow got over there. Kings with a 3-on-1 here. Here's Toffoli. Shoots. Save. And the net is dislodged.
Drive to the net by Muzzin. Toffoli pull and drag. The Kings getting a chance themselves. So game opening up a little bit right now. Coming back after the break. Patrick O'Neill on the bench with Dwight King.
All right, I'm here with Dwight King. And first off, Dwight, just seems like a real battle out there. What's your take on this game?
Yeah, they're a good team. They're in top of standings for a reason. And right now we're just chasing the puck a little bit. We got to get back to getting into their end and controlling it a little better.
As far as the momentum, seems like you got it back after they scored Kinger. Good luck. Okay, guys, back to you.
Kings win the draw, and a long shot by Doughty is stopped by Vasilevsky, and puck taken around the boards. Kings hold it in the Tampa Bay zone. Down in toward Gabrick. Gabrick checked there, but he drops it off. Kings get it back to Doughty at the point. Doughty shoots. It's wide to the left. Rebound to Callahan for Tampa Bay. Last time the Kings scored 3 goals in the first period was December 22nd against Calgary. We hope the same outcome doesn't happen. Calgary won it in overtime 4-3.
The Kings have had a little bit of a pushback themselves here in the second, because that first 5 minutes of the second period, the Lightning are really just going at it. You change the goaltender, as we mentioned. Sometimes that's a shock to team. It certainly had a positive effect on the Lightning. But in the last 5 minutes, the Kings have had some counterattack chances themselves. So you can't just sit back. We know that. The game has changed. The NHL has gamed so much. So checking up something right there. It's unusual in your home building, but looked like something disturbing in behind the Tampa Bay Lightning bench with John Cooper looking over top.
Kings have it in their own zone. Regehr now to Stoll and now to center ice. Taken away by the Lightning. Thrown right back into the Kings zone. Kings have had 3 odd man rushes in the game to none for Tampa Bay. Puck is down into the corner, right side. Still fought for there, and it comes free to Stoll.
Well, they just hit to at least one, because the Lightning had a 3-on-2 with Stamkos on the ice earlier in this period. But you're right, the last 2 chances the Kings had, Bob, were because of counterattack. Interference against Doughty. Doesn't like to call. So back to one of those keys again, that you don't see a lot of penalties, but when they do happen, you've got to make sure. Now, Doughty gets involved, and yeah, he makes contact with Kucherov, and the puck is not there. There's a scrum of players there, and Kucherov was around the puck, but he really didn't touch it, and Drew was just coming in to take whoever he could. Here it is again. There's the contact. Yeah, I don't think there's much argument right there. You see Drake Kimmerly, the back referee, had everything right in front of him, makes the call. 5-on-4 men advantage, Lightning.
Doughty for interference. Tampa Bay gets their second power play of the night. They're 0 for 1. They had 1 shot on their previous man advantage.
Well, we have right here now the referee coming over, and the Lightning, wow, quick turn of events. Conley going to the box. Roughing. Whoa. So you have that potential, it's Callahan, number 24, not Conley, number 14, but that potential turning point with a power play, and all of a sudden, right off a face-off. We'll see right here. And that's it. It was hand on puck. It was not roughing. I misunderstood the signal right there. So that's one of those automatic calls. Instituted 2 years ago where, it's a safety issue. You get those hands and gloves near the ice and skates are around. You don't want that happening. So the first thing that touches the puck after the drop of the puck, you can go out with your sticks, but you can't put your hand on it if you're the centerman, and there's no question there with Callahan. So now we neutralize the situation. We're down to 4-4.
Well, the Tampa Bay Lightning power play lasted 1 second. That hurt your percentage.
Oh, yeah. Power play coaches. What the heck?
There are people that would like you to figure out the place you are in power plays with how many minutes you have it. For 1 second to say 0 for 1, and that hurts your percentage. But
yeah, I think in the long run they probably even out those types of things. You know what, Bob? I think as we go on, and read some comments from Dean Lombardi about how you will evaluate players in the future and understand moods and getting real deep in science as stats continue to grow and the computerization and how quickly you can get them. It's going to come down to that. They're going to start doing those types of things because, press of a button, you can figure it out and get the real number.
So now the Kings in their own zone, move it up the center, try to get it to Brown. Tipped away from him and taken by Kopitar.
It was Professor Lombardi again yesterday at practice. A couple of years ago, he was talking about, remember the clock malfunction at Staples Center?
Oh, yeah. Column.
Yes. Columns.
Column. What was never heard either one.
Neutrinos, or he was talking about some type of endorphin that may be able to be measured, and then you can figure out the moods of players, and you don't have to just rely on your read.
Kings in a battle in their own zone now as Stamkos sends it into the corner.
That's why he's the GM. Oh, yeah.
We don't have to worry about this.
No, you got that right.
Here's Regehr down in the corner of the Kings zone. His pass going to be taken away, though, over on the far side by Kucherov. And the Lightning in the Kings zone. Move it over on the left side. Taken there, back at the by the Lightning and thrown down in deep by Barberio, but covered by Quick.
And one of those there where you want Quick to move the puck if you're honest to the rule book, because really no shot chance right there. Tonight at Fox Sports Live, all the news from the world of sports, including highlights a full day of NBA, NHL. So much going on in the world of sports right now. We're on Fox Sports Live on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go.
In the Kings zone, the face-off won by the Kings by Carter, and now it comes up toward Toffoli and out to center. Toffoli trying to get to it in time. Comes into the Tampa zone, and Stallman back to get there. Now the King blue line. Kings take over. 6:20 left to go here in the second period. Kings with a 3-1 lead. Kings get it up to center ice. Muzzin takes it there, right in front of the Tampa Bay bench, but now a pass tipped away, and Filppula with it in the Kings zone. Filppula trying to move down into the corner. He got knocked down, and the Kings get it up ahead on the right side to Carter. Carter's pass picked up by Muzzin across the line. Muzzin, Tampa zone, gives it to Carter. Carter checked in the corner, and the Tampa Bay Lightning dig it out. Both teams are back at full strength. Doughty comes out of the penalty box, so does Callahan. Right side, here is Filppula turning with it. Gives it back up the middle. A shot tipped into the corner. In the King zone, and a battle along the boards. Regehr is there, so is Doughty. They battle, and the Tampa Bay Lightning with it. A wraparound shot wide by Callahan. Played by Johnson to the blue line. Now Hedman, his shot knocked down and cleared out across the blue line by the Kings. Tampa Bay have to let it go, or they would be offside. They did let it go. They touched up, and play continued.
Kings want to change right here, though, and they're not getting it to the red line to get it in deep, so you have tired defensemen on the ice.
Here's Regehr along the boards. He gives it to Carter. Carter gets it up to center. His long pass and an offside called, and we will be back. 5:09 to go here in the second. 3-1 Kings.
Kings fans in Tampa. John Rosen, the Kings insider, wrote an article yesterday, and maybe today, I can't remember when I read it about. He sees more and more Kings fans traveling on the road. So you see a couple of guys right there. I have some friends here today. Bob, you do too. Jay Salazar. He wants to say hi to his parents and friends back in L.A. Larry Singerman, 40 years season ticket member. His daughter Stephanie, they're here. Then a group of 14 people, Bob, we picked up the other day. We saw them. We were traveling around where Dave Levin, who's been organizing road trips for years and years and years. So when you have success like the Kings have, you're not afraid to show that jersey on the road. You see it right here in Tampa. Good showing by Kings fans.
That's right. You're proud of it, just the way we see so many Blackhawk and Detroit fans around. And winning creates a lot of pride as the Kings drive it down into the Tampa Bay zone. You know the big discussion we had about percentage, and, well, forget it, because they did not credit the Tampa Bay Lightning with a power play. Must have been like a fraction of a second, and they go back to the next numbers, which would be 0-0. So
that's a homer decision right there to keep that power play ranking okay for the Lightning.
Puck comes down to the corner in the Tampa zone, taken there by Williams. He sends it around the boards. Stoll over to throw a check. Puck is cleared up ahead to center ice and chipped down into the King zone by Cedric Paquette. Now it slides back into the Tampa zone, and an icing call against the Kings.
We're talking about moods and reading moods, and Dean Lombardi yesterday, talking about the state of the LA Kings, and, let's get real. The Kings have played well, and then they haven't been able to sustain it. So they had Chicago and Boston, and he talked about the flick the switch type of thing. Kiss of death, he's calling it right now. And he also talked about trades. He says people are expecting them to pull another rabbit out of the hat like it's happened the last couple of years. And he pointed out that rarely happens where you make that a trade and it has a huge effect on the team. So the Kings are trying to get it done with the players they have right now. And I think that's why, again, you keep going with Jonathan Quick. You don't change up the lines that much. I think that's kind of a unsaid sign from Daryl Sutter that, hey, guys, we're going with the guys that got us here. You got to get the job done, and it has to start now.
Kings tip it out to center ice. Val Filppula has it. He gives it to Callahan on the right wing. Callahan checked there by Muzzin. Callahan down the corner. Used to be the Rangers, and they made that trade for St. Louis. And now up to center ice. Kings with a pass ahead just out of the reach there of Gaborik. Brown trying to get it to Gaborik. Gaborik checked along the boards. Puck is still in the Tampa Bay zone and cleared up ahead to center ice by Nesterov. Kings have it again. The Kings have a 3-1 lead with 3.5 to go in the second period. Here, Kings in deep. Kopitar sent it in front, taken away on the right side and out to center. Picked up there by Brendan Morrow. Morrow on the right wing. He battles there. He is a battler. It doesn't matter what the score is or anything. He's proven that in his long career in the NHL. Brendan Morrow, 13th year in the league. Puck comes to Morrow just across the blue line. Brown took it away, swept away from him, and the Kings regain control as Gaborik gives it to Green.
When you talk about the Lightning, Bob, and their skilled players in their top 6, for instance, a lot of young players in that group. So another reason why Brendan Morrow was picked up by the Lightning. You have Brian Boyle coming over. Stevie Yzerman did a good job of kind of filling holes on this team because you have those young guys that you're not necessarily sure what's going to happen come playoff time.
Victor Hedman, 6'6", 233 down the right side. And he got checked there, and the Kings overskated. It was Nolan overskated. Now Kucherov in deep in a sharp angle in the corner. He got checked there. Puck is dug out by the Lightning again, though. Left wing side. Here's Palat. Palat, pass off on the right. Picked up and down in deep. The Lightning move it around. The Kings trying to get it out of their zone now. And they do. They get it up in the air and out to center ice. Picked up by the Kings. Nick Shore took it away. He throws it left side. Shore goes in front of the net and runs into the goaltender as he got knocked down. And now we get a little shoving again.
More scrums as this game has developed with everyone just driving to the net and trying to make things happen. You mentioned the Lightning and trying to balance things out. Those veteran guys that bring you to maybe a little bit more a sense of control. Jason Garrison just out of the lineup. He just picked up an injury in the last game, but he came over from Vancouver. Strawman, who can play just about any pairing back on the blue line. John Cooper has that to work with. Then Brian Boyle, fourth line center, but big presence. Good face-off man. Played in the finals last year for the Rangers. The guy you were just talking about, Brendan Morrow. So I think a real good job by Steve Yzerman, seeing what he has, understanding the skill, but also understanding you need those special guys to do it. The guys that play in certain situations, not necessarily a lot of ice time, but get the job done too.
Face-off, they get reset again on this face-off in the Tampa Bay zone. Kings got 3 goals in the first period on Ben Bishop, and they pulled him out, and they have the youngster, 20-year-old goaltender Vasilevsky in there now, and it's his first meeting against the Kings. His record is 4-1-0 in the games that he's played in the NHL. Kings have it in the Tampa Bay zone. Dropped off along the boards to King. The White Kings pass toward the corner, knocked down, and the Kings hold it in. Here is Muzzin with a shot just wide. Rebound off the boards, cleared around, and still in the Tampa zone, but now they get it up ahead and cleared up to center ice. On the right wing, into the Kings zone. A shot knocked down there as getting back in a hurry was Jake Muzzin. Puck comes to the Kings, Drew Doughty. With 1:25 left to go here in this second period. Kings will go on to Columbus, Ohio, and we'll be with you on Monday night at 4 p.m. in Southern California, 3:30 for Kings Live. Kings and the Columbus Blue Jackets, who beat St. Louis 7-1.
Yeah, you can figure it out, huh? Figure out how that happens. Eastern Conference, figure out what's going on. The figures tell us that Tampa Bay leads everyone in the East. You see the wild card fight, and we were documenting the other day, or talking about a little gap there between Boston and Florida. Of course, Florida picked up 2 points against the Kings the other night, but a little bit closer, I'd say a lot more closer when you get down to that 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 spot when you're in the Western Conference.
Carter on the draw for the Kings here in the Kings zone against Stamkos. And the Lightning get the puck. Right point, shot from there, and knocked down, rebound sent wide. It was right in the slot, and the rebound went wide and back to the blue line of Tampa.
It was only a backhand, but it's a Steven Stamkos backhand, so you got to make sure right there.
Here now is Carter into the zone. Down the middle goes Lewis. Carter to Lewis. Lewis turns, shoots, knocked down and covered by Vasilevsky.
And Trevor Lewis standing right in there. And Hedman comes and throws him right to the ice. Now, who's the aggressor here? He's pointing at 77, yeah. Hedman's going to get it here. That was a counterattack created by a turnover by the Lightning. And they've been guilty of a few of those in the game. Hedman's going to the box. So maybe a chance here for the Kings with 56.2. Watch this. Carter tries to get it. Lewis stops it up. Tries to pull, turn, change the angle. Vasilevsky makes a couple of big ones. And then, yeah, a couple of whacks by Lewis. I don't think there's any question, but then The response by Hedman was a little bit too much compared to what happened with Lewis and the goaltender. And you see him just keep going there. He keeps going, and finally the referee just has to make the call. And I don't think there was as much stick work by Lewis compared to Schuster earlier in this period against Quick. So, power play penalty kill. Chance here for the Kings to get it going, get the guys on the ice that they want on the ice, and they have the top line. Brown has been playing with Gaborik and Kopitar of late. 5-on-5, they stay out there with Muzzin and Doughty.
Kings scored with only 0.4 of a second left in the first period on a goal by Doughty. Now they get a chance with only 55 seconds left right here. Puck is picked up now by Kopitar, sends it across the ice and off the skate of Muzzin back to center. Muzzin turns around, throws it over on the right side, and Kopitar had trouble getting it up to his stick, but he stays right with it and pokes it down into the corner. Now Kopitar again. Kopitar checked along the boards. Pass comes down in front. Brown couldn't get it. Muzzin did, and a save by Vasilevsky.
A neat little float pass there by Gaborik, trying to get it across. Tried to get it to Brown, but finally Muzzin skated on top of it. So you're not going to get a lot of opportunities when you get down near the end of the season, but the Kings specialty teams have been going in different directions. And of course, you want to shore up the penalty kill right now, and you want to keep that power play going. That's what the Kings are looking to do right here. 30.7 seconds remaining second.
And on the draw, Kopitar wins the faceoff. Kings get it back to the blue line. Shot by Muzzin, tipped up in the air to Brown behind the net. Brown into the corner. His pass taken away, but the Kings get a stick on it to hold it in to Brown. To the right side, it was McBain over there, not Muzzin. Now picked up by Brown. Brown over to McBain. He turns, he shoots, and a save by Vasilevsky.
All right, so the Kings, moving around, and you make that subtle change. And McBain gets one chance, he gets another one, and that's what he's out there for. Daryl Sutter talked about it after the last game. He basically said Jamie McBain did everything we asked for in that game. Move pucks, get pucks to the net, plays a handful of minutes, not like he's going to lead everyone.
Well, he missed 9 games, and he came back and scored in his first game back. Puck is taken there by McBain, and his shot up out of play off of the netting. And now we're down to 3.3 seconds to go. Plenty of time.
Yeah, just setting the stage. Just setting the stage. 0.4 worked in the first period, so the Lightning, you could see McBain on that last play. He was trying to take a step across, change the angle. But the Lightning forward right in front of him doing the right thing. So big boys coming out here. Boyle comes on the ice. He gets very low for a big man. He's out there against Kopitar.
And Kopitar kicks it toward Gaborik, but the Lightning have it. And that is the end of the second period. Only 1 goal in the period. Kucherov is 19th for Tampa Bay, unassisted, 58 seconds into the period. And Jonathan Quick skates off. He has faced 19 shots. The Kings have 24 shots so far in the game. 3-1 Kings at the end of 2. When we come back, we'll take a look at Tip a King after this. Kings Hockey is brought to you by Mercury Insurance. You could win playoff tickets to every 2015 home playoff game at mercuryinsurance.com/king.
Welcome you back to Tampa. 3-1. If there was ever a time where that next one is important, it's right now. We'll go right now downstairs to John Stevens, Kings associate head coach. And John, so many things executed well by the Kings in this game, but I want to look ahead. What do you need to see here in the third?
Well, we like to get a good start in the period with this power play here. We got some good ice to work with there in a little over a minute to execute. So nice to get a goal, but for sure want to get some momentum, come out of this, have a really good start to the period.
Justin Williams talked with Patrick O'Neill earlier in the telecast in the first intermission and talked about staying above the puck. Is that a big key here against the Lightning?
Well, you're playing the best offensive team in the league, so they're going to have numbers on the attack they can execute. So it's critical we reload and get above the puck all night.
All right, John, thanks very much. So a lot of things you have to think about. Of course, first thing is here. You do have the man advantage. You got a fresh sheet of ice. You got to move the puck around. You got to hopefully get the big boys getting it done. Carter looks like he's going to start here along with Kopitar and Gaborik. Remember earlier, it was Brown just keeping the normal line together. So the Kings need one here. If not, well, even if you do, you just cannot allow or even give any sniff whatsoever as far as an outnumbered attack for the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Kings have 3 shots already on this power play. That was at the end of the second period and the third period underway. But keep in mind, in the third period scoring this year, Tampa Bay has 64 goals in the third. Their opponents have 43. Kings bring it in. Here's Kopitar down in the corner. Kings with a power play. Back to the right point. Held in there, and a shot is blocked right back to Doughty. Doughty gets it into Kopitar. Double teamed in the corner. He gets it back behind the net. Now a pass broken up, and it comes to Muzzin. His pass comes out to center ice. And back into the Kings zone. Kings back in to get it. Here's Doughty starting out. Pass up ahead to center ice. Into the Tampa Bay zone, and now behind the net taken by Kopitar. Broken stick out on the ice now to Doughty to Kopitar. Kopitar pushed all the way to the blue line, taken away by Tampa Bay. Into the King zone, looking for a shorthanded attempt. Down the left side, here's Palat. Palat hanging on, and up the middle, a shot up high and off the glass and wide. Puck comes back in deep, and the Tampa Bay Lightning are back at full strength. Kings had 3 shots, but none since the start of this third period on that power play. Back into the zone. Kings with it, driving in deep. Lewis shoots, and it went behind the net. Stamkos over to pick it up for Tampa Bay. Puck comes up to center ice and on the right wing. Into the zone. Here is Callahan. He turns, he waits, he gives it left side. In deep, a shot. Score! From a sharp angle on the left side by Victor Hedman. And now it's 3-2 in favor of the Kings.
The ability of Callahan to get the blue line and stop. You see right there, by stopping, he allows Hedman to be a factor. Williams tries to get back, tries to back check, even gets a stick on Hedman, but here it is right there. A little bit too much of a back off by Regeer. That allowed the time. A little bit of a fake shot there by Callahan. Maybe that froze a few people to think he was going to throw it at the net. He goes back door. But that blue line is so important. Protect that blue line. The Kings unable to do it. And the Lightning now right back in this game.
Now they send it deep into the King zone. Chased into the back of the net by Doughty. Threw it back over on the right side, but it comes back to Tampa Bay. On the right wing side, held in there and tipped to the blue line, and a nice play there to get it out to center ice by Trevor Lewis. Tampa Bay with it again. Sent deep into the King zone, and Regeer over to get it. He was checked from behind there, and the puck comes loose to the Kings, and they have to put it deeper into their own zone. Now back to get it, Regeer over to Doughty. Doughty takes a hit from Paquette, and the puck comes up to center ice. Taken there and fired right back into the King zone on the right side by Luke Witkowski. But Doughty back to get it behind the net. Now up ahead, left side to Clifford. Kings had 3 goals in the first period, had a 3-0 lead. Now it's 3-2. Tampa Bay with it. Right side, in deep, Tyler Johnson throws it wide to the left side, and it's deflected out of play.
Get another look at the Lightning goal. It's Hedman who actually kind of gets the play started quickly for the Lightning. He just moves it all the way across. Now, I'm going to stop right here, guys. You see this gap? It's okay as far as control, but watch when Callahan stops it up. He's going to turn and stop. Now you see another stop here, guys. Look at this. He has time. Now there's going to be a coverage breakdown on the other side of the ice, but just draw the parallel with football. If a quarterback has so much time in the pocket, sooner or later he's going to find the open man. That's what happens there. Callahan has time. Hedman takes him a while to get open. He does. You find him. Lightning back within 1.
Kings chip it out to center ice, and now getting back to pick it up is Schuster back in the Tampa zone. Tampa Bay Lightning with 10 straight wins at home, trying to add to that here tonight. As Jim said, they're right back in the game. The Kings with a 3-0 lead at the end of 1. Now it's a 1-goal game. Here is Green. Green gives it to King. King in the slot. King waits. His shot hit a skate and is picked up now. It hit the skate of Barberio. And the Tampa Bay Lightning back into the King zone. Filppula, right point. Filppula's pass down in behind the net, taken by Dwight King. He gives it to Muzzin. Muzzin spins away from Filppula. Passes up to center ice, and it's intercepted there by Brian Boyle. He drives it back in. The Tampa Bay Lightning want to get a change. The goal by Hedman is 7th of the year. Callahan with the only assist, 1:34 into the third. So they scored 58 seconds into the second, 1:34 into the third. Puck is taken behind the Tampa Bay net by Kopitar, but poked off of his stick. The Kings scored in the first period, 1:33 into the period. So every period has started with a quick goal. here in deep behind the net. Boyle. Boyle checked there, spins away. Boyle backhander save, rebound, save made by Quick. The save made by Quick on a rebound bid by Brett Connolly.
He had to find the puck. He had to fight it off. He had to go at the puck, smother the play, and that's exactly what Quick does on it. Looked like for a split second, wide open net. He covers it up, smothers it, makes a save.
Brown tried to throw a check at Morrow and got the boards rather than Morrow. Here's Tyler Johnson, right side, shoots, and a save by Quick.
Well, the Lightning keep on the pressure. They have the big bodies down low. You have the cycles, and finally it made its way to the front of the net. Watch Boyle go here against Kopitar. Look at that. Good puck protection. You're waiting for something good to happen, and then it does happen for the Lightning. Out to the front on the rebound, and Quick, he comes across. Maybe off the ankle there. Maybe Quick doesn't even get it, but watch John and Quick. Watch him take one step forward here. Regueir's on the side. It goes off the gloves of Regueir, so give the credit right there for the save to 44 Robin Regueir. And the Lightning get another chance.
And a shot from just inside the blue line is wide. The shot by Witkowski. And the Lightning have it in their own zone, in the King zone. Drive it wide off the boards. Picked up now by Kucherov. He goes behind the net, threw it back in front, and it is deflected up out of play. But nice move there by Kucherov going behind the net.
Yeah, he made the move. And all three guys, Bob, they call them the triplets. Palat, Johnson, and Kucherov, because they all have the same style of play, and you very rarely see that. Watch this pass from behind. Yeah, you had to get in there. Otherwise, looked like Johnson may have had a wide open net, but all three guys have similar styles. They think the game the same way. Many times, a good line combination, you have varieties of styles. Not right here. Three guys working together.
In this third period, the only shots have been by Tampa Bay. They've got 4. And the puck slid all the way down right toward the goaltender Vasilevsky, and he covers it up for Tampa Bay.
Well, February is American Heart Month. And Fox Sports Supports is proud to recognize the American Heart Association's commitment to building healthier lives. Visit, if you get a chance, foxsportsupports.com to get more information and find out how you can help.
Face off in the Tampa Bay zone now, and Carter going to take the draw. They kick Tampa Bay player out, and in comes Stamkos. 3-2 Kings. They got to get some momentum back here in the third period. Puck taken by Tampa Bay and cleared out to center ice. Back to get it now. Kings in their own zone. Sent by King over on the right side, and now picked up by Carter up to center ice. Tried to give it to King. Poke checked away there, but picked up by Regueir. Regueir checked by Callahan. Puck is picked up by Doughty. Doughty spinning away from Stamkos. 1 and 2 in the draft in their years in 2008. Puck comes down the right side and taken away by Tampa Bay. Filppula back up to center, across the line. Filppula left side, his pass deflected up high and into the boards on the right side. Now Filppula with it again, throws it in front, batted away and deflected out to center ice. Back to get it now, Schuster. He's out of the University of Nebraska, Omaha. He's from the Czech Republic. Puck cleared up ahead to center now and taken there by the Kings. Broken up by Muzzin as he cleared it, and it's out to center ice. Taken by Schuster again. Moves it left side. Tampa Bay with some pressure around the King zone. Puck comes around the right wing corner. Tampa Bay Lightning with it again. Up the middle. Shot by Barberio, and it's deflected wide. Into the corner to Green. Green gets hit hard by Paquette. Puck comes all the way down into the Tampa Bay zone, and Clifford down into the corner. He gets checked there. Clifford pokes it back around the left wing side, and the Kings jump on it. They get it to Regueir at the left point. Regueir sends it into the right corner, but Paquette over to get it, and Clifford takes a run at him. Now Clifford checked from behind by Paquette. Puck taken by the Lightning back in their own zone. Andre Schuster with it now. He got it up to the blue line and up to center ice, and now knocked down by Regueir. Nick Shore on the ice for the Kings. Moves it deeper into the King zone. 13-10 left to go in the third period. It's a 1-goal lead for the Kings. Puck sent by Brown across the line, but batted away back into the King zone. Chased down by Drew Doughty. Doughty hangs on. Kings are home next Thursday night to honor Barry Melrose, taking on Calgary. Right side, Brown shoots, and it's wide to the left. Rebound off the boards. Here's a 2-on-1 for Tampa Bay. Tyler Johnson down the right side, throws it on the left, and Palat got checked there by Doughty, who got back to break it up.
Now snuff out the 2-on-1. Wow, with Drew Doughty right there, his partner coughed it up again, and Doughty had to get back and just lunging and sprawling to make the play.
Now here's Palat in deep, poke checked away by Doughty. Palat tried to throw it in front, loose puck, Kings poke check it away, and picked up now by the Kings and sent down to Gabrick. Gabrick moves it back on the right side. Williams shoots, he scores!
Oh, what a blast!
Williams with a blast from the right side, and that for Williams, his 100th goal in a King uniform, his second tonight, and the Kings regain a 2-goal lead at 4-2.
Don't forget the defensive play by Doughty, but we've seen this occasionally from Justin Williams. I mean, he's known mostly as a deceptive shooter and a quick hands, quick wrist type of guy, but watch this. I remember a game at Staples Center, and this one is not deflected. Doesn't go off the defenseman's stick. Is it rolling? No, it's flat. And he just tags it. And the goaltender, Vasilevsky, thinks like he's in good position. Looked like short side high right there with a whole bunch of power and a whole bunch of eyes. It works for the Kings. They lead by 2.
Williams with 15 goals on the year now. Puck comes into the Kings zone and taken by Green. Now sent around the boards to Clifford. Green back in the corner. Sends it behind the net over to Regehr. Regehr's pass to King. Now tipped up ahead to center. And the Kings may have a 2-on-1. And getting back over to intercept the pass. Getting over in a hurry was Hedman to kind of stop the 2-on-1. Now Hedman behind the net, checked by King. Puck taken by the Kings and off the post, but I think the whistle had blown. Shot was by Carter. There's that shot by Williams. Puts the Kings ahead 4-2. We'll be right back.
Well, the Kings get the 2-goal lead because of the rifle of Justin Williams. 2-on-1 though for the Lightning. About 20 seconds before the goal score. Watch Doughty. You talk about being very aggressive here. Children's Hospital Los Angeles save of the game. Doughty had a decision to make. Just kind of get back and block it. But watch this. Stop it here, guys. As the pass is made, watch Doughty rush. He goes right at the receiver. And that takes away time, takes away angle. He has the stick in position, he has the legs in position, and he snuffs it out. That's very aggressive. You have to have a lot of confidence to make that move on a 2-on-1, and Doughty does his job defensively.
In the Tampa Bay zone, off the draw here. Lightning have it, but the Kings take it away. They pass up in front, but it's intercepted there and cleared back to center ice now. Right side, Stamkos across the line to Callahan. Callahan, he throws it down in deep, but a check thrown by Regehr. Stamkos going for it. Brown has it. Can't. Yes, he did. Got it to the blue line. It came out to center ice.
Drew Doughty again, another one of those shifts. Again, the Kings down to 5 defensemen, but out there with Regehr.
Here in the middle and going to the right side, held in there by Tampa Bay. They get it back to the right point. A shot blocked in front by Kopitar. Kopitar gets it up to center ice and to the Tampa Bay line. But Brown gets knocked down there, and here's Callahan across the line. His pass in deep, broken up by the Kings and cleared off the glass out to center by Green. Williams back to try and get to it, but it's taken by Tampa Bay. Williams with 2 goals in the game. Now the puck deep into the Kings zone, and Quick leaves it behind the net for Matt Green. Green to the right side. He throws a check there as he knocks down Alex Killorn, and the Kings dig it out, and it is cleared up ahead to center ice. Cleared by Stoll, and now across the blue line, down in deep, taken away by Barberio for Tampa Bay. Picked up and cleared out to center ice now as Alex Killorn got it in the neutral zone. The Kings drive it right back in. Here's Lewis. Lewis down in deep. He gets checked there. Lewis still battling. He got double teamed. In to help out is Nolan. Nolan took it behind the net. Nolan still with it. Nolan checked there, and the puck comes around the left side. It's going to come to Regehr. Regehr, the left point. He throws it in deep. Now the Kings trying to get to it in the left wing corner. Check thrown there and a battle for it along the boards. Puck comes up the middle. A shot by Clifford and a save by Vasilevsky.
Another example, Bob. The fourth line has done a good job in today's game where, right time, get the right type of shift. Toyota game analysis. Well, it was an excellent first period by the Kings. That's the big difference right now, even though the Lightning have 2. But Williams has 2 goals on the night. You see what happened in the first. 3 for the Kings. Only 7 in the previous 11, so that turned it around. The Lightning, last 10 games here at home, 10, zip, and zip. That's a good record to have at home, but the Kings are finding a way to get it done so far. Now we're down to the nitty-gritty. Under 10 minutes remaining. Kings with a 2-goal lead.
And Carter wins the draw. Back to Regehr. Tampa zone. Puck gets tipped into the corner. Clifford over to get it. Back to the blue line. Kings have it. A shot by Doughty off the boards. Pinching down is Regehr. He holds it in. Sends it back behind the net. Carter digs it out there. Puck rolls along the boards and is taken by Kucherov and gets it over to Tyler Johnson. Clears it out to center ice and taken away by Regehr. Williams has 4 shots on goal, and so does Toffoli, and they both scored goals. Williams has 2, and Toffoli 1 tonight. Tampa Bay takes it away. Pass on the right side in the Kings zone. Kucherov trying to get there, and Regehr came flying by and into the boards, and the Kings send it up the center. They got a 2-on-1. Down the left side. Here's Carter. His pass over the right and shot up high by Toffoli, and we get a stoppage here as the glove stop made by Vasilevsky.
The Lightning starting to take chances, and the Kings, if they're smart, will have the counter chances like they did right there. Saturday, February 21st, experience the big game live on the big screen. Watch the LA Kings take on the San Jose Sharks 2015 Coors Light NHL Stadium Series game live on NBC Sports Network. LAKings.com/big screen for more details.
Kings will be home on Thursday of next week. First time at home in a long time against the Calgary Flames as we honor Barry Melrose that night as a Kings legend. Here's Stamkos. His shot tipped up high and back behind the net. Kings batted around to the left wing boards. Now chased into the corner, and the loose puck is going to be taken there by Filppula with a shot just tipped wide. Back to the right side. Kings trying to get control of it and try and get it out. Picked up on the right side, though, and in deep. The pass over on the left side is out of the reach of the intended receiver there, but now it's held in. Here's Hedman with a drive. Blocked there, and the loose puck comes to the blue line, and diving to poke it out as it comes out to center ice. Diving there to clear it was Gaborik. Puck right in front of the Tampa Bay bench. Kings change on the fly. 8 minutes left to go in the third. Puck is in the Kings zone and whistled on an icing call.
The Kings needed that change, Bob. They're a little tired on the ice, and Dustin Brown had to work hard just to get a small play that happens in the midst of a 60-minute game where you're just trying to get the puck and get the line and get it deep so you can get the change. The Lightning had one of those shifts where they had all 5 men involved. So there's Dustin on the bench right there. And sometimes you don't get anything on the box score for that, but you do as far as just kind of holding on to the game and allowing your team to settle things down. A little delay here because the Lightning have a couple players coming on maybe a little late. It was an icing call, so they tried to get Stamkos off and Connolly on. That's not the case. They make the switch there.
Tampa's controlled the face-offs in the game tonight. They win this one here as it is picked up and cleared up to center ice. Now taken away by Justin Williams. His pass into the Tampa zone. Broken up there, and it is cleared up to center ice. Picked up by Regehr. Now Williams. Williams got hit, but he got it over to Stoll. Now Stoll's pass up ahead to Trevor Lewis. He moves it ahead and across the line, thrown in by Stoll. Down in the corner. Stoll goes for it there. He gets hit hard along the boards. Puck is dug out by Tampa Bay, but they don't clear. Held in by Muzzin at the point. Muzzin drives it around the board. Schuster over to get it. Schuster on his backhand clears it out to center ice. And now back into the Tampa zone.
More than anything right there, a little kick play by Jake Muzzin. Kings have to control those gaps and stand up as much as possible. We've seen it a couple of times. If you back off, that gives a skilled team like the Lightning more time to move the puck around.
And the Lightning now clear it all the way down the Kings zone. And an icing call here against Tampa Bay, and we're down to 7 minutes exactly to go in the third period.
It's a good sign when you have the other team icing the puck. They're trailing. They're trying to get through the neutral zone, but the Kings are clamping it down. They're really clogging it up. So, again, one of those little things, good positioning by the LA Kings and good work as a 5-man unit. And, of course, you have the lead. You spend time 200 feet away from your own goal. That's a good thing.
The Lightning in their own zone now and trailing 4-2 here in the third period. Pass up on the right side and tipped down in deep by Brett Connolly, but whistle on the play and another face-off on an icing back in the Tampa Bay zone.
Earlier, Cedric Paquette, first period, you can just see the devastating contact right there with Martinez. There's a whiplash effect. There's Martinez hitting his head on the glass. I didn't see much of a charge situation by Paquette. Again, he led with a shoulder. But of course, since that point, the Kings have played one man down with Alec Martinez unable to come back.
Puck taken back behind the net by the Tampa Bay Lightning. Schuster, he sends it along the boards and picked up now and taken by Schuster again. The Lightning in about 12 days are going to be in Los Angeles to take on the Kings at Staples Center. Now a long pass up to center ice and all the way to the King blue line, but taken away by Doughty as Regehr threw a check. Doughty gets it off on the right side, gets a return pass. We got a delayed penalty against the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Kings will take their time, and now Jonathan Quick finally goes to the bench.
And the Lightning take it away, but the Kings now, with 6:08 to go in the third, have a power play. And how important is this to score on this and maybe finish it out?
Interference is the call right here against the Lightning and Killorn. And I'm just wondering, Bob, if it's one of those frustrating situations, because the Kings have done a good job here to lock it down. Since it's been 4-2, I mean, it's been tough sledding for the Lightning. We talked about the icings. They're trying to get through the neutral zone, and sometimes you're trying to buy some time for one of your teammates, and you go out of the way. Interference is the call. May have been actually just contacting the crease with Jonathan Quick. So, bottom line, it was an offensive zone penalty at a time where your team was trailing by 2. Interference is the call. The Kings only their second power play on the night.
Kings with it back in the Tampa Bay zone. Muzzin with a shot and a save and a rebound. Picked up by Carter. He put it behind the net to King. Kings pass around the right side to Doughty. Doughty back to King. King couldn't catch up with it though, and it's taken and not cleared. Held in by the Kings again by Toffoli. Gets it over to Doughty. Doughty on the right side. Down in deep. King. Now Doughty comes by to take it back behind the net, but Tampa Bay going to get to it and clear into the King zone right toward Quick, and he stops it there. Sellout crowd tonight here at Amalie Arena, 19,204. The Kings have a 4-2 lead, and they have the power play now as they bring it up to center ice, and offside called against the Kings.
So the Kings are probably in that make sure mindset right now. And some people would say, you know, that's a little bit too much of a conservative attitude, but you don't want to be passing through players right here. You just don't want to take that chance for an interception or something going the other way when you already have a 2-goal lead and you have the man advantage.
Kings are 0 for 1 on the man advantage tonight. They've had 3 shots on it. Now the puck driven in deep into the King zone behind the net. Look out here. It's picked up by the Lightning, and they send it out in front, but it went off the stick there of the Lightning's Brendan Morrow, and now it comes back in toward Quick, and he sweeps it off on the right side, and now here's Kopitar. Kopitar up to center. Made a nice move. Kopitar into the zone. Kind of got grabbed there. The puck comes back to the right point. Held in by McBain. McBain over to Muzzin. Muzzin shoots. Blocked. Traffic in front. Puck taken by Tampa Bay. Kings have to get back. Kings drop pass right side. Shot by Hedman is wide. Rebound comes to the Kings with 30 seconds to go in the power play.
The Kings did get back, but what happened there, Kopitar was one of the players. Well, they're going to call too many men. I don't know if any time the Kings had too many men there. Whoa, we got to take a look at this one. This is very interesting. Again, sometimes just playing the puck becomes an issue. So the shot comes in from the Lightning. And the Kings try to go the other way. Now in the background you have a couple of changes now. You still have 5. Stop it here, guys. This man here is within 5. This man's within 5. If any of those players I'm circling right there are involved in the play, then it's clear cut. Too many men, but only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 skaters. That to me, he's within. These guys are here within, close enough to the bench, as long as they're not involved in the play. And then you see the changes completed, and I think the referee overestimated that right there, overreacted on the play when he makes the call.
So it's 4-on-4 right now, and the Kings win the draw in their own zone. It's Stoll won the face-off, and the Kings get it up ahead to center ice. Here's Brown driving down the left side. Brown in deep, checked by Hedman. Still a battle for it. It was Lewis, I'm sorry. Back out to center ice. Picked up there. Kings have it. 4:10 left to go here in the third period. And now Tampa Bay At full strength, they have the power play. Kings with it, though, here in deep. Carter driving down the right side. He gets stopped there. Tampa Bay with it. They're down 4-2. Under 4 minutes to go in the third. Power play for Tampa Bay. Hedman moves it off on the left side. Right side, here's Stamkos. Stamkos, his pass tipped and broken up and cleared.
Jake Muzzin with the stick right there. That time the Lightning did get the line. They had some time, but they didn't get penetration. Tried to play maybe a little bit too early, and Muzzin gets a stick on it.
Filppula to Hedman. Now here's Stamkos again. He throws it over on the left side. They set up the power play in the Kings zone. Back to the blue line. Right side, Stamkos shoots, blocked. Kings get to it. Kopitar clears it.
Muzzin with the block shot, so he had to stand up with a stick in the lane. Then he gets back to position, stays in a shooting lane, and blocks a shot.
Lightning back in their own zone to pick it up there. They got 37 seconds left to go in the power play. Pass up ahead to center. Lightning into the Kings zone. Pass to the right point to Tyler Johnson. Johnson's pass down the right side. Played there and down in deep. Still can't get a shot. Now it comes back to Johnson to the blue line. Now a shot and a save by Quick. Diving to cover the puck on the shot from back of the blue line, and he hangs on to it.
And the shot, Bob, is low because you're looking for the tip, and that's exactly what happens. Kucherov's going to be on the far left side. Move it across, get the shot low, and watch this. Almost a shank, but you see the redirection. And Jonathan Quick, position right there, made the save. Watch Quick get good position initially, low, and he doesn't really have to move because the position aggressively out to the top of the crease enables him to cut down that angle and make the save.
Face-off is taken by Tampa Bay. Shot saved by Quick. He juggled it for a moment and then grabbed it out of midair.
You can sign up for a free LASIK consultation with Asil Eye Institute at LAKings.com/Asil Eye for an exclusive meet and greet with a Kings player. That would be on February 15th, so check it out and see a little bit better.
Justin Williams is serving the Kings too many men on the ice penalty. That has 14 seconds left on it. Kings win the draw, and Regehr drives it out past the right point and all the way back into the Tampa Bay zone. 5 seconds left to go in the power play for Tampa Bay. 2:36 left to go, third period. Kings, Doughty has it. Doughty's pass tipped out to center, and now out of the penalty box is Williams. Williams chasing it down. Puck is picked up by Stralman. Stralman gets it back up to the King blue line, where the Kings take over and move it ahead now to Williams. But offside called against the Kings. So now we're down to 2:18 to go in the third. 4-2 Kings.
We're back here in Tampa. First period was all Kings. Turnover, puck from the boards to the middle. Quick backhand. Goalie gets a piece. That was the starting goaltender, Ben Bishop. Keep it simple, north-south. Look over the shoulder. Great backhand pass. Lewis to Williams, 2-0. 3-0. Point 4, traffic Brown. Kings had a great shift going there. Forecheck was working into the third period. Kings, a little nervous time right there until the big slapper by Justin Williams. And we stand right now, Kings lead 4-2.
Kings take it away at center ice. Here is Dwight King into the Tampa zone. Put it behind the net. Kings leading 4-2. Stamkos on the ice. Tried to give it to Callahan. It comes tipped right toward the goaltender Quick. He stopped it, gave it to Green. Green's pass knocked down and held in for a moment by Stamkos and then sent down in deep. They pulled the goaltender. The net is empty at the other end of the ice. Can the Kings get a shot at the empty net? There's a shot from the right side, knocked down. Kings try to get to it, and it comes out to center ice.
Little play by Toffoli. Little play is a huge play right there. You got to get it out, and it's exactly what he does.
Filppula drives it in. Minute and a half to go in regulation. The net is still empty. Here's a pass right side. Filppula threw it in front, and a save by Quick. And he hangs on to it with 1:26 left to go.
A lot of changes in direction of the puck here lately for the Lightning, and they're trying to get it going, and Quick's making saves. Watch this, reach in, puck protection by the Lightning, but the sweep of the stick. That's one of the things the Kings development department works on with Kings players. Making sure, and there's that redirection there at the last play, then the putback. Quick makes 2 saves on the same play. But Tyler Toffoli, stick position is extremely important in that situation. And with the goaltender pulled, you got to get it out.
Tyler Johnson on the draw against Kopitar in the Kings zone, and the loose puck is taken by Johnson. He put it down in the corner. Now the Kings take it away, clear it off the boards, up the center, and chased down by Brown. He gets into the Tampa Bay zone. Picked up there was Lewis chasing it down. Brown is on the ice. Puck is picked up at the blue line by Kopitar, but batted away from him. Now on the right side, Brown tries the empty net, and it's wide. 1 minute left to go here in the third. The Kings have a 2-goal lead at 4-2. Tampa Bay with it. Their net is still wide open. They've got 6 attackers on the ice. Puck comes deep into the Kings zone, into the corner. Regehr gets it to Doughty. Doughty's already been named the #1 star of the game. Justin Williams, the #2 star. Kings don't clear it. Now it comes in front to Regehr, and he clears. I want to thank our statistician, Lonnie Herman, tonight, our stage manager, Erica Thornsberry, as we get an icing call against the Kings with 34.7 seconds to go. I'll remind you, Kings Live comes up right at the end of the game.
Stars being selected already. There's still 34.7 remaining, but Drew Doughty has been all over the place. Not unusual, and all over the place in a positive manner. Land Rover player of the game. He has the goal. 0.4 remaining, made it 3-0. 3 shots, 4 block shots. Anything else he didn't do? He broke up that play, the 2-on-1 that led sooner or later to the last goal for the Kings and Justin Williams. Look at the time on ice. He'll go over 29 minutes again. And the Kings still need a draw here. Filppula against Kopitar.
Kings trying to break a 3-game losing streak. They lost to Boston, Washington, and Florida on this 5-game trip. On the draw here, Filppula wins the draw. Back to the blue line. Hedman with a shot. It's wide. And now 28 seconds remain. The Kings get it out to center ice and back into the Tampa zone, and an icing call against the Kings once again.
You can kind of sense, Bob, the difference between a 1-goal lead and a 2-goal lead. 2-goal lead, you don't necessarily mind as much icing the puck in this situation. Of course, it's critical, it's crucial, any way you look at it, but you make sure when you have a 2-goal lead, you don't overthink the situation, and the #1 objective, just get it out and hold on to that 2-goal lead.
Face off in the Kings zone. Kopitar on the draw. The Kings get to it, and it is cleared by Lewis out to center. Tampa Bay back to get it. Monday night will be in Columbus. Kings live at 3:30 in the afternoon. The game time at 4. Doughty back to get it. 9 seconds left to go. The Kings trying to break a 3-game losing streak. Here's Hedman with a shot as they try to break Tampa Bay's 10-game winning streak at home, and they're going to do it. The game is over. And the Kings get a much-needed road victory. I don't know, actually anywhere, road or home. Kings needed a victory, get those 2 points. So the Kings with 22 wins on the year, 56 points as they defeat the Tampa Bay Lightning. The Kings had 29 shots, Tampa Bay 28.
There's so many different elements in this game. Again, the first period was the difference. Even though the Lightning kind of crawled back into the game, the Kings got it done. Justin Williams has 2 goals. I thought lines and shifts by the Kings' 4th line all night long really did a good job to reestablish control with strong forechecks. The power play, the penalty kill, wasn't outplayed tonight, so you get kind of a draw in that situation. The Kings get one of those wins that many people hope will be that turning point, not only for right now on the road trip, for the season. The #1 team in the East, the Lightning, go down to the Kings. Kings win it 4-2.
Jonathan Quick gets his 18th win of the year. Kings win it 4-2. And we'll see you on Monday night against the Columbus Blue Jackets. The final score 4-2 Kings. Kings Live coming up next.